Hey everyone, you're listening to InfoQuench with Jeff
and Amy,
a podcast with tips to make your life easier.
Covering pop culture, parenting, travel, minimalism, and more. This is a test of the emergency podcast system. This is only a test. Hey everybody, this is Amy.
And this is Jeff.
And you know what? The weather has been crappy.
Well, the go-to is to talk about the weather.
It is, I know, and small talk has been an all-time high with all the crappy weather talk that's been at our disposal.
But our listeners, they don't want to hear about the weather. They don't want to hear all that small talk. They hear that everywhere. At work, at the water cooler, wherever.
Yeah, you know what, though? That crappy weather is what's inspired this whole episode.
What? This whole podcast is about crappy weather?
Well, not exactly. It's going to be about your summertime bucket list.
Oh, summertime bucket list. The things you always wanted to do, especially in the summertime.
That's right. We were listening to a little Beach Boys earlier, and we are all we get the summer vibe going.
That's right, we do.
We're making plans for our summertime activities, and we wanted to give you some of the top ideas that I kind of, scoured the internet for top bucket list items.
But we have some of our own that we can share, right? I mean, I have things that I like to do in the summer.
I think we should keep those secret, honey. I don't
think
we should be sharing all of our bucket tip lists.
You're right. People will start copying us. Then we'll see them everywhere. We're doing our bucket list, and they're like, hey, I'm doing my bucket list.
Yeah.
And then we're all doing the same bucket list.
That would be strange.
That would be really cool, actually. Get thousands of people. Sounds like a Go Team Derek thing.
Flash mob.
A flash mob, but just bucket list mob.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Bucket list mob.
You heard it here first.
Bucket list mop mob. I don't know, bucket mob.
Mop? You think
I know the mop. The mop doesn't have anything to do with. Anyway, what's the first one, honey?
Well, the first one is me explaining what bucket list means before we even get into our items. I was curious because I've heard bucket list a lot, and I remember the movie The Bucket List, and I wondered if that is where the term bucket list originated from, and it turns out that is actually the case. So, it was actually a American-British screenwriter, Justin Zachman, wrote a screenplay for the 2007 film The Bucket List, which I remember.
With Jack Nicholson, right?
Yes, and who was the other guy?
I don't know. David Schwimmer?
Definitely not David Schwimmer.
I hope not.
But the whole thing was about, it comes from kick the bucket, like stuff you got to do before you die, which is a little morbid, I guess.
No, it's not. It's part of life.
Yeah, you always get such a great outlook on life and death. That'll be another episode.
Right. We'll tune in next week for Life and Death, the podcast.
Yes, Life and Death, and through the eyes of Jeff. But today we're going to talk about 25 different bucket list ideas specifically for the summertime.
Specifically for the summertime. Wow. So no making igloos or anything like that?
No, not one igloo on the list.
Wow. Okay. No snowball fights. Okay. All right.
My first one, number one, is catch a drive-in movie.
Yes, here in Sussex, they have a great drive-in.
Yeah, so we're in St. John, New Brunswick, so I think Sussex is probably the closest. But there's a website that I found online, driveinmovie.com. You can look up your drive-ins all over the world to find out what's close to you. So look it up and check it out. If you remember, I remember when we used to have to hang the speakers.
Yes.
You went up and there was like a little speaker on a pole and you could bring it into your car.
Yes, I remember.
And then it got more high tech and you could tune in your radio to a signal.
And that was mind blowing at the time. It was like, what? We don't have to let the mosquitoes in? It truly was like that.
It's really a crazy concept though. Everybody just parking their cars in front of a giant screen and then
Come on, do people really just park their car?
Oh, wow.
Did you watch the movie? Yeah. Actually, what was the very first? Let's go there. So, what was the very first movie, a drive-in movie that you were at? That you saw? I
don't remember what movie it was, but there was. I think they usually do like a triple play, right? They do like
or a double feature,
or double feature.
Yeah.
Triple play is probably sports.
That's baseball, honey. That's the wrong sport altogether.
I went to the first drive-in movie with my parents when I was a kid. I remember the popcorn and the hot dogs were awesome. They had a little canteen so you could go buy the food and bring it back to your car. I don't remember the movie, but I just remember I had a lot of fun.
Yes. My memory is very selective, as you know, and I don't remember who I was with I kind of have an idea as a time frame because of the type
Were you
of
in a
movie.
trunk? Did they sneak you in?
No, I wasn't, but somebody else was on that particular occasion, I believe. Probably my buddies from Sussex at the time. And anyways, we went to go and see. The very first movie was Battlestar Galactica, the very first one, and then the second one was Star Wars. So it was obviously sci-fi night at the drive-in in Sussex.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was a cool time actually. It's pretty magical actually, as you watch dusk ascend and suddenly you can see these great pictures. Like it is amazing.
Magical moving pictures.
It truly is. I love it.
Item number 2. Do an old-fashioned picnic. I mean, or just a regular picnic. But just do a picnic.
You mean one where you make the picnic table?
No.
When you go on the picnic, you make the...
But maybe you make the food. Maybe you buy the food and just lay it out on a blanket. But the key is to eat it outside. Because there's something about food outside. It tastes better.
A picnic inside just doesn't work the same.
No.
Unless it's raining outside.
That's true.
And that's just what you do to be romantic.
Or you got to keep the kids busy. But it's... food does taste better. Or even on a beach picnic, or, if you're going for a hike and you have a great mountaintop view.
Yeah.
So many great places to have a picnic. So do that up this summer. Pack some food, make it yourself, or be lazy and just hit Subway. We've done that before.
We have done that. And then we've gone on a hike and ate the Subway halfway through the hike. And people look at us like, what is wrong with you people? What are you doing?
And the list is long, people, but the list of what is wrong is long. But we like our outdoor food. So enjoy that this summer. Number 3 is go swimming in the rain.
Oh yeah, but just don't get electrocuted.
Well, yeah, okay, not during a thunderstorm.
Just like a little light drizzle kind of thing.
I like swimming in the rain because you don't have to worry about getting wet. Like you're
wet no matter what.
You're already wet and you go swimming. I don't know, and I find the water always seems a little warmer, and I don't know, it's just kind of a cool experience. If you haven't done it, I highly recommend it.
I figure that if you're going to go swimming in the rain, honestly, you might as well be naked. You might as well. I mean, as long as there's not thousands of people around.
Okay, well then add skinny dipping as a bonus item to the list.
That's right, skinny dipping. I've only actually gone skinny dipping like 2 or 3 times in my life, really, to be honest.
I should specify swimming in the rain. It'd be swimming outside, and an indoor pool wouldn't be the same experience.
No, how would you get rain indoors?
It would just be hitting the windows, and that's just
hook up a bunch of what's his name? What's his name? Al Green. What's his name? That Red Green
with the duct
tape showers and stuff, and then just have a rain swim in the pool.
Number 4. Play some frisbee. Frisbee is so Jeff. Great. Number 4. Shut up, Jeff. No.
I'm joking. This is us fighting everybody.
Yeah, this is how we fight. This just got strange for a minute. Frisbee's cool because it's small and easy and portable, and you can keep one in your car or in your. If you carry a big purse, you could put it in your big purse. Yeah. Frisbees are, and people, when you bring one out though, people are like, "Yes, this is a sport I can do," and they are all in.
It's strange though because personally speaking, you and I and our little guy, I don't know. We've probably taken the Frisbee at least a half dozen times to use when we went wherever we were going. And where did it remain? In the bag.
Well, do you remember the time the Frisbee came out in Mexico?
Oh, yes. Tell the story. This is a famous story. This is my 5... You know how, Andy Warhol always said you have 5 minutes of fame? Well, take it away, Hunt. This is my 5 minutes.
You only get 5? I thought you got all 15. They're down to 5?
15. You're right. Yeah, that's the economy fame thing. This is...
Well, I thought it might have been a Warhol thing. He was pretty artsy. He might have just did his own take on the 15 minutes.
15 makes more sense, actually. Because, you got to savor it. 5 minutes, it just happens and it's done.
Maybe he was like tying it in with how long it takes to make Campbell's soup. I don't know.
Right. Hey, wow. That was good, honey.
I know.
Tell the Frisbee story, though.
Okay, yes. Okay, well, I better make it short or I'll take up the whole podcast.
Do it. But this is my... Yeah, I know we're supposed to have 15 minutes, but I only had 5.
Jeff and I were at a resort in Mexico. And they do, if you've ever gone to resorts and they have the night show and they have cheesy games that they play with the guests. And one of the ones was to throw a Frisbee. And we didn't really know what the goal of the Frisbee throw was. But the guy came over and asked Jeff if he wanted to do it. And I think it was you, and there was a bunch of kids too.
Kids, yeah. I still remember a bunch of kids came up to me afterwards, wanted to shake my hand. They couldn't believe what they saw. You're not going to believe what you saw. People, take it away, Amy.
All right. Okay, let me finish this up. So the prize was pretty awesome. I think it was like an entire bottle of rum. So that was,
and a really cheap piece of jewelry.
Now that I kind of, in hindsight, I don't know why that was a prize when there was a bunch of kids playing the game too. But so the guy running the game pointed to this little tiny hole in this it was part of the structure of the building.
It was like a clover, right? It was like a clover at the very top of a spine of a building kind of thing.
I would say it was probably about 20 feet high.
Yeah.
Maybe 25.
20 feet high or so.
This tiny little hole, and he's like, you just have to throw the frisbee through that little hole. And I thought, they don't ever want to give away this prize.
No.
So Jeff stood up, and he didn't even really get into proper throwing.
I just whipped it right away.
Yeah, he just it was sideways.
It sailed like a wobbly UFO all the way up.
And it had to go sideways to fit through this little cross cloverleaf cutout in the building, and it did. It went straight through.
People freaked out. I'm telling you, people were going nuts, jumping up out of their seats.
Particularly the guy who had to give away the free bottle of rum.
Yeah, and he gave it to me because I won.
Number 5 on our list is to go camping.
Yes, which another thing that we really don't do enough of.
Well, we've booked a night's stay at the yurts.
Right, yurts. That's kind of glamping, to be honest.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I know.
You can still have the camping experience without all the bugs.
I really like that experience of being out in a tent, though. In a tent, underneath the stars,
Well, yes, that is a cool experience. So that's one way to go. But if you're also feeling like you want some creature comforts, Fundy National Park is close to us here in St. John, New Brunswick. And they have incredible yurts, these awesome yurts. They have Authentics. They have all kinds of little glamping options.
You got to be quick like Amy, though, to get one because she's up they go on sale or not on sale. they go on rent or whatever at 8 a.m.
They open for reservations for the season.
That's what it's called.
On a particular date, and
it's my first day with my new brain.
But you know what? There are all kinds of options for glamping. So Airbnbs and all kinds of people who have different options. So do some camping this summer. Number 6, grow something. Anything.
Something. You
Plant
can grow
some
things
flowers.
now legally here.
Yes, you can grow some things legally. You could plant some flowers.
Maximum of 4 plants.
What?
Maximum of 4 plants.
Oh, okay. I had no idea what you said there. Yes, only 4 annuals can be planted at a time. Choose your annuals wisely. If you are feeling a little lazy and don't want to grow something, number 7 is just go pick some other person grew. Grow some.
That's rude.
Not marijuana. You can't grow. No. You can't go pick somebody else's marijuana.
Or just raid someone's vegetable garden. No,
don't go raid someone's weed or vegetable garden, but you can do a
I know
U-pick.
about you and your Hampton days.
Go to a U-pick.
U-pick is great. Strawberries, apples.
U-picks of strawberries,
blueberries.
Usually apples are a little more in the fall, but try to U-pick this summer. It's a cool thing to do as a family or as a couple,
and
you get a ton of them. You can throw them in the freezer and make freezer jam.
Yeah,
all kinds of cool stuff.
Those are the kind of things too that a young child will start to remember as memories as they grow up as well. Going berry picking, all day. With a sunburn and no water. No, I'm just kidding. We give our kid water.
Yeah, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, friends. Number 8, take some time and lay down on your back in the grass and stare up at the clouds and watch the clouds just float by. We were driving home the other day, and we were on the highway, and our son was looking out the window, and he commented on what the clouds look like. And we don't often take the time to do that as adults. We don't look up.
Yeah.
Really, we're so busy looking at what's directly in front of us or down at our
let's
phones
be honest,
or whatever.
We're looking at our phones.
Yeah. That too.
Or our devices.
Yeah, we love our devices.
It's a strange thing that our generation is the very last generation that will remember what it was like before the internet. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Anyway, what's numbers? That's depressing. I don't want to depress people.
Number 9 is check out an outdoor concert or even outdoor theater if you have the luxury of checking that out. Just something about, being outside. I sometimes find live music a little too loud when you're indoors.
You do, yeah.
So outdoors is a nice atmosphere for enjoying that. And
I agree. Going to a concert, seeing it outside is absolutely incredible. It really is. There's no feeling like it.
Number 10's a fun one. Go to a fair. check out if you have a county fair or the an exhibition, any place with a Ferris wheel and cotton candy. It's so much fun when the fair starts going up and we just see them, starting to assemble it and it's come to town. Something to look forward to, and the kids get excited. And
I gotta say, like all these things are bucket list things, so things to do before you die. I think people were expecting, skydiving and bungee cord jumping and
well,
stuff
those are kind of like lifetime
not
bucket
Ferris wheel.
lists.
It makes sense though. Yeah.
Well,
those are lifetime. I thought that's what we were.
Well, we're just talking about summertime.
Yes. Okay.
It's really just do some fun things in the summertime kind of list, not if you're planning.
Don't do it before you die kind of thing. Okay. All right.
I'm trying to keep it light and happy and summery.
Okay.
Sun, summertime.
Get on that Ferris wheel.
So, yeah. No more kick the bucket talk, just fun
all right.
summertime
I'm sorry.
talk.
Okay.
Number 11, take a nap in a hammock.
Ooh.
Have you ever napped outside?
Yeah. Oh, all the time.
Something about napping with fresh air. Or if you can't get outside, just, in your bedroom with the windows open is also awesome.
That's great. On a rainy morning when we open the windows in the bedroom, it's so nice.
Oh yeah, I love it when you can hear the rain and it's
and the fresh air though too, right?
But a hammock is super cool too. If you're the luxury of a covered porch and you can crash out on some, porch furniture and have a little snooze, that's the best snooze you can ever have.
You can't lose with that snooze.
There you go. There's a Bare Naked Ladies song where they talk about like take a drink right from the hose and do you know what song? You know what song I mean?
Oh, hose. No.
And run turn
the sprinkler on and if I had $1 million. Uh-oh, we have to pay royalties for that now.
I know.
I shouldn't have
Stop singing.
That.
That's why I was just trying to get around.
Sorry, Bare Naked Ladies. Really.
Well, another line in that same song is my number 12, Run Through a Sprinkler. Our son Hux did this for the first time last summer with our friend Natalie's son, and they had a blast. They were, jumping through the the old-fashioned sprinkler lawn that you use to water your lawn, and they just were jumping back and forth through it. And, it's not anything expensive or extravagant, but...
It's the golden stuff that, you do when you're a kid.
We could never do it that long, though, because it would drain our well. Another part of country living. We have to fill up our bathtubs during storms, and also we can't we don't want to drain our well with sprinkler jumping. But yeah.
So when you did fill up the bath, that was only for the toilet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you didn't drink it or anything.
No.
Right.
I guess you probably could if you had a super clean bathtub. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, it was mostly just to be able to flush the toilet.
Right. That makes sense.
Because the power was never out for extended periods of time that you would get like dehydrated.
Not in the country.
No. Number 13 is beach combing.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
Your sister Tammy loves beach combing.
Yeah.
It's like one of her favorite things to do with
Finds
her kids.
Finds a beach glass.
Yeah, she likes to see glass. And beach combing is a super fun thing to do with kids or just to do on your own. It's just peaceful, sound of the waves. It's meditative. So
it's good stuff.
Number 14 is do a little road trip to find some ice cream. Specifically for ice cream. And we have a great new place here in St. John, Bella's Traditional Ice Cream, and they've just popped up recently, but regardless of where you're listening from, go to a neighboring town, maybe a place you don't visit often, and just go for a short drive and
go for a Sunday drive.
Maybe park the car and walk around in a different neighborhood, and don't drive too much though, because that's bad for the environment.
Yeah, climate change.
No, because climate change.
Climate change, it's true.
Number 15, do some wine tasting this summer. Wine tasting is great to do year round.
If you're a non-drinker, you just do a water tasting.
or water tasting.
Yeah.
Or if you're
Juice.
a non-drinker, you can just skip over this item number 15. But Uncorked Tours is a local tour company here. But there's all kinds of different tour companies or just check out your local vineyard, give them some support and love. Go do a little wine testing, buy some of their product. It's a great way to shop local and
I agree.
Also catch a little summer buzz.
It's always good to support local businesses. That's the bottom line for me. It's like you don't need to go onto Amazon and buy something that you could buy at a local brick and mortar store.
If you're going to support local businesses, do number 16 and also support local sports. Catch a game.
Catch a game, for
whether
sure.
it's baseball or football. Get outside. Check out what your local teams are. They're usually free to go. Just, cop a squat on the grass, or, sometimes you're, lucky enough to have some bleachers, and bring along your, your coffee mug and hang out and catch the game.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Number 17 is just get out on the water. So whether it's a canoe or a kayak, if you don't own one, you can do rentals in a lot of places. And it's just a different way to view the world a little bit.
Yeah.
Different perspective out in the water. It's a little quiet.
It's like at Rockwood Park, you can go out on the canoes, or you can go out on those pedal bikes.
Yeah.
Whatnot. That's just in our backyard basically, and it's a full day of entertainment.
It's amazing how different the park looks like just when you're out in the water, or any lake, right? When you get a different perspective of the shoreline.
Yep.
Number 18 is go barefoot. I've heard that there's a lot of therapeutic benefits of just going barefoot. It just sort of roots you to the earth, whether you're walking through sand or you're walking barefoot through the grass.
Yep.
I remember as a kid, spending the entire day barefoot, watching out for thistles and
dog poopy.
Dog poop. And gravel. The big gravel hurt the worst.
And dog poopy.
What else do I got? Number 19, hit a market. We have so many great markets where we live. We've got the Queen Square Farmers Market, which is every Sunday here in St. John, New Brunswick. There's the Kingston Farmers Market on the Kingston Peninsula. So again, these are all specific to New Brunswick. I'm sure you've got some local farmers markets you can check out.
The St. John in general community, really.
Yeah. And it's, again, supporting local. You get to, and if you're going to a market in your hometown, it's a bit of a social experience too. And something super exciting has happened just this recently here in St. John. We have a new night market on Thursday evenings. So it's the, it's alongside our city market that's open, regular business hours. But we have Thursday night from like 5 to 10
Every
p.m.
Thursday.
And we have the St. John night market.
I feel like the really cool fun thing about that market is that it's going to be different every time. There's going to be either a different band playing or a different DJ or something. It's always going to be different. I mean, a lot of the vendors will keep, repeating and stuff, but that's okay. Some will add, some will be subtracted. It's all good.
Yeah, well, we've got great vendors that you can go to week after week, and also get some fresh turnover. It's gonna be. I'm pretty excited for it. So wherever you're at, if you're in St. John, check out some of our local markets. But if you're listening from elsewhere, do a little Google search or check out Facebook events and see what's going on in your neighborhood and check it out.
Get on Google right after you finish this podcast. This amazing podcast.
Number 20, watch a sunset or a sunrise, or if you're ambitious, do both. I remember my 20s waiting up to watch the sunrise.
There's a very sleepy day.
Yeah, it does kind of.
That's okay
up the next day, but
if we were like when we were in Nicaragua, the sun set the exact same moment every single day because we were so close to the equator, and it was like 6:15 or something like that. Every single day, it's just boom, gone. It was like somebody turned out a light.
There's something cool about watching that moment, right? That moment in time that that everybody in the in the vicinity is sharing the same moment of the impending darkness or the beginning of the day when it's just everyone's waking up. So it's just kind of a neat experience. Number 21, host a bonfire, or go to somebody else's house who has a bonfire.
Right. I remember certain
s'mores
certain bonfires from my past where we would burn old Christmas trees.
Oh, well,
and they were like tinder dry and right up it went.
By summertime they would be.
Yeah.
So that's I love bonfires. They're great. Make sure you check to make sure that they're allowed in your area.
Yes. Check your local listings.
Check your local fire warnings. Number 22, sleep under the stars.
I mentioned that earlier, and I love that. As long as I'm not going to get my face eaten off by a bear, I'll eat.
Or a horde of mosquitoes.
Or yes, I love to just sleep outside with just a sleeping bag. Just sleep right.
I remember a distinct memory as a kid, sleeping out on the deck, going out on the deck with mom and dad, and us just putting out sleeping bags and sleeping out on the deck.
Having a sleepover.
And waking up freezing in the middle of the night and then going inside. But that's a luxury of just being out on the deck.
Starting a fire.
But it's a pretty cool experience just to sleep under the stars. Number 23 is catch a meteor shower. The Perseids hit in mid-August. I think they're the most popular meteor shower of the summer, or of the whole year, actually. This year, there's a full moon around that time, so they won't be as bright, but you're still going to see some good meteor shower
to
activity.
This day, I'm nearly... Well, it doesn't matter how old I am. I still haven't seen a real meteor shower. Have you?
Yes.
Yeah, you have?
I have. Well, that night that I mentioned that I slept out the deck with my parents, it was to watch a meteor shower.
Oh wow. That's really cool.
It is super. It's like watching a million shooting stars.
Wow.
I mean, the Perseids, I think, get up to 150 plus an hour.
That's it. If the fog ever lifts, I'm going to do that this summer.
But even with a bright full moon, you still get to see a good number of them. Number 24 is to skip some stones.
Yes.
I remember we went out to...
that should be on your summer bucket list.
To a camp or cabin with some friends of ours. I remember just standing by the edge of the river and skipping stones for probably a good hour or so with Hux, and he just loved it. And, cut the devil's throat when you throw it up in the air.
You could do a 2-for-1 too and do that during a sunset. There's 2 things off the bucket list.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could add, I don't know how many.
I think you're missing the goal of the bucket list. It's not just to...
Not just to do them all.
You sound more like me. Let's get that to-do list done.
Yeah, let's
cross them off. Let's
to
enjoy doing them.
But I think it would be enjoyable to skip stones at sunset, though, or sunrise.
Yeah, it would be cool.
You'd be able to have really nice, cinematic ripples in the water.
Yeah, get somebody capturing that on film, because that is a great Facebook moment.
Yeah.
You want to post the crap out of that picture if you catch it.
Do it while you're laying on your back looking up at the clouds. So you missed that one too. And anyway.
Number 25, it's my last one, is to go horseback riding. I know it's specific. Not everyone loves horseback riding.
We've done that twice. Camel and horse. That's pretty much what we've done, right?
Camel and horse. Are you just naming yeah. We gotta hit the elephants next.
Those are the only animals we've ridden on the backs of.
Yes.
Aren't they?
Let me do a quick count. Yes. 2. Yes. 2 types of animals.
I would like to add elephant to that, and maybe I will someday.
As long as they were, well cared for elephants and not.
We thought that as well with the camels, and I'm sure they were really well cared.
They seemed happy as far as camels
that was in Morocco.
Go. Yeah.
Yeah.
They seemed happy camels. Yeah. They had It's really rough riding a camel, though. I won't lie. That is a rough riding experience.
Yeah, it is. I remember. Yeah, I remember. Didn't you have an unruly camel?
Well,
or did I? I can't remember.
I don't know if yours would get up.
Oh yes, that's what it was. It wouldn't. It just. I was like.
It's getting up and down that's a little tricky.
The camel was just like on its all fours, going like, "You're too fat, pal. You're too fat. You're not getting on me." And so that's what happened. I'm not fat, by the way.
No, and the camels can handle it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So those are some ideas for this summer, and I'd love to hear if you have some other things that you have on your own list. We do like to actually, as a family, make up a little bit of a list at the beginning of the summer, just things we want to, and so if it's a weekend,
we don't get to them all, but
we don't get to them all. But if it's a weekend and we're wondering what to do, we can kind of look at what we had in mind, some of the things we wanted to check off. Maybe it's just flying a kite or doing something.
Speaking of checking things off, maybe we should tell people how they can get a hold of us if they do want to share their summer bucket list.
Yeah, check out our social media.
We got all kinds of social media.
We do. We've got our Instagram account.
We love hearing from people.
Getting a good following there. Facebook and Twitter. And if you just search InfoQuench, just Google InfoQuench, all of the social media options will come up.
And the cool thing too is that we're not like super huge yet, and we respond to every single comment. So when we are super huge though, you're on your own. You can follow us like we're icons, and that's okay.
Hey, if there is one other person listening aside from Jeff and I am super happy because we have so much fun doing this.
I agree.
And we have some, like I said, we get some great feedback, and so we hope you're enjoying listening, and that you're going to have an amazing summer.
Yeah, summer's coming, believe it or not, especially here locally. It's coming. Don't worry. The fog is going to lift. The clouds are going to dissipate, and out will come the sun and the warmth and the shorts and the beaches.
You heard it here first, people. It's going to happen.
And the sunrises and the sunsets and the hikes and everything. I tried to get them all of our things, but I didn't get everything on the summer bucket list. But thanks for listening, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening.
Be sure to visit InfoQuench.com to subscribe and catch up on past episodes.
You can also check out InfoQuench on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Till next time.